Good morning and welcome to Core Finance. I'm joined by Matt Brown, who's an independent market strategist. How are you today, Matt?
Very well, very well. Glad it's Monday. Weekends do tend to drag, so it's good to be back in the office.
Still recovering from men crying in public. I can't take that. It's just like, a man's got to be a man. You've got to cry behind closed doors.
This is obviously referring to Wimbledon.
Exactly.
Not you at the weekend.
No, that's a separate issue. But let's go on to the markets before there's any further embarrassment. European stocks flat despite better than expected Chinese growth data. Presumably people didn't really believe it.
Well, I mean, you always take Chinese data with a pinch of salt, but some good GDP numbers out from China. But the market, it's just quiet. There's no volume, and we saw a bit of volume last week in the US, but this morning European markets are flat. But this, actually, the data, if it is true, is positive because I think a lot of people expected a Chinese slowdown. So it's nice to see they are continuing to the upside.
They're defying the laws of gravity and economics. It's wonderful. Next up, we've got the FTSE One to watch, which is ITV, where Carolyn McCall will be taking the helm at the wonderful broadcaster at the early next year.
Yes, I mean, good move for her. It's a good pay package. I think she's getting about £1 million.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money.
But it's, I mean, it's good for ITV. But the problem is for ITV, half of its revenues still come from advertising, and that space is slowing down. So it's going to be interesting to see if Dame McCall can come in and maybe shake that up. Is it all about on demand? You've got to compete now with the Netflix, the Amazon Primes of the world, and ITV I think are in a transitional stage. She worked at EasyJet for 7 years, but prior to that worked at The Guardian, so she does have a bit of media background on her CV.
I wouldn't call The Guardian media background. Something else, but not that. Next up, we've got the AIM stock of the day, which is Patisserie Valerie, which I was bemoaning that it's not very French, actually, is it really?
It's probably as French as a Greggs sausage roll, but they seem to have the name for it, let them eat cake. What's going on with the stock there?
Well, no, just I think the only news there recently was that Sainsbury's are offering this fine, how do you describe it? What's it called? Well, patisserie.
Patisserie.
Cakes and the like. Yes, cakes in their outlets. So presumably that will be good for this particular stock.
Well, it's one of these kind of middle class stocks. It's the fever tree of the culinary world. Again, they seem to be performing well.
Well, I think from my recollection, it's actually cheaper to go to France and get a croissant than it is to shop there. But they've obviously got the margins and the pricing power perfectly sorted out.
Well, hopefully the stock's not overbaked.
No. So the pound, they said it couldn't break $1.30, and so obviously that's exactly what it did within a couple of days. Also broke support. Euro broke support at 88 pence. As well, so the pound back in business, presumably on a more soft Brexit outlook.
And I think a weaker dollar as well. I think that's driving a lot of these moves. So no surprise it's above 130. I doubt it can hold that level though for too long.
Yes, that's what they said. But I don't know. I think that it's one of those things that's going to go all the way back up again because that's where people don't want it to go. You know, exactly. So a bit like the euro, in fact, dollar weakness. Okay, euro. So going on to the euro now. Just under the 114.50 level, which is a bit of a sticking point.
Yes, this kind of 114.50 level is a resistance. We've had a strong push up for the euro this year. Obviously good for the euro, but you've got to start looking how that will feed through to, say, German manufacturing data, etc. A strong euro is not good for exports from the eurozone.
Right. My suspicion there is it's just giving people enough time to go short at 114.50 before taking it to 118 or something like that, which is roughly what they did when it was 113.
Exactly.
So a bit of a fake out there. broker recommendations. You can just feel the pain at Pearson. I don't know. What can they do to get it right?
It's a tricky one. I mean, we've talked a lot about Pearson and the model and what's going on there, and yeah.
Well, they're in papyrus when everybody's gone to paper. Is
Indeed.
It something like that?
Yes, pretty much. They're moving backwards.
All right. Well, unfortunately, downgrade there from Berenberg in terms of the target, down from 605 pence to 490, and
are they trading above about £6 near a 7 at the moment, Pearson?
They're currently at £6.27. So, but not looking very happy there at all on the charting front. Core number, which is nothing to do with our salaries here at Tip TV.
This core number, I actually picked this Bitcoin, down 22% month to date. obviously a bit of a correction, had a great start to the year, but it's an asset bubble. We're seeing this. We saw it obviously with the internet boom and various other assets. It's a new asset. Could it fall lower potentially? Buying opportunity. It's like the gold. It's gold. Of,
well, the problem with this is you just don't know you don't know what it should be worth. Is it worth $1? Is it worth $5,000? I mean, that's the thing. It's just has. I mean, gold at least is a cost of production, which apparently is $1,200. So you can sort of say, well, below that it's a bit cheap, above that it's expensive. But here, there's, you know, it's just literally trying to value air, hot air, possibly.
Well, exactly. It's a virtual currency, and that's the problem. It's not tangible. The cost to develop of it is a hard drive. You have these Bitcoin miners. I mean, the problem is if it gets too high as a currency, a pseudo currency, people aren't going to want to use it if it becomes too valuable. So it kind of rules itself out of the market. So I mean, maybe this is healthy for the whole Bitcoin story going forward to have a bit of retrenchment there.
But still well up on where it was at the beginning of the year.
Exactly,
So not quite
crazy.
We're not going to start crying in public just yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Finally, we've got the economic calendar where we're both going to stay up tonight.
Oh, definitely. Well, this is the highlight of the day. So
quarter to midnight, we'll be there trying to work out or trying to find out what the consumer price index is in New Zealand.
Yeah, the macro data's already happened with China this morning. We had some European data out about 5-10 minutes ago. Traders now probably just step back and do something else for the day.
Hymns and lemonade, I would say.
Indeed, on a Monday. Strong, but why not? Why not? It is summer.
Matt Brown, Independent Market Strategist, thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome.